talking streaming fast. Kodi and Plex, yeah, they keep you in the know. Top the course and make your budget grow. Tech news updates got you covered tight. Streaming smooth through the day and night. Protect your neck from the dangers out there. Drink up every Plex mention, cheers in the air. Streaming matters, always on fire. Keeping you informed, raising your desire. Cut the cord, stay you're part of the feast. Join the club and stream with ease. Now, streaming matters, always on fire. Keeping you informed, raising your desire. Cut the cord, stay you're part of the feast. Join the club and stream with ease. Got the latest tips you won't wanna miss. Kodi's got the tricks and Plex is your bliss. They break it down, make it simple and clear. Everybody watch and have no fear. Tune in and watch us follow along. Save the cash while singing this song. Stay ahead with the latest tech trends. Streaming Matters is your new best friend. Oh, Streaming Matters always on fire. Keeping you informed, raising your desire. Cut the cord, say goodbye to the fees. Run the club and stream with ease.
Tell me, we are rocking it in today.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a throwback to the 80s, kind of a heavy metal sound.
Yeah, the last few have been kind of poppy, and, I'd like to mix it up some.
100%. It's my birthday tomorrow. So, yes, we deserve to be playing a little bit of hard rocking. I enjoy my hard rock. I was a guy of listening to Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Motley Crue, Ozzy Osbourne. Didn't even say Plex. Oh, he messed up.
Just lost someone.
Yeah. C-Man, he might have lost it. He'll jump back in a second. So, Hey, welcome everybody to the show. Thank you, Dub Beach, for another great intro. We have a different intro every morning, or every Friday. We got a different intro. Welcome back, C-Man.
You booted me out, didn't you already?
No, not yet.
It was for that discussion earlier.
Yeah.
Hey, my hands right here. I didn't do it. No. Thanks, you guys, for joining the show. This the first hour of our show, we're going to talk about some tech information. Try to make it a little bit better for some of your streaming. Hopefully, you're able to watch the content you want to watch when you want to watch it at the price that you're willing to pay. So we try to give you some information to save your neck as well as save your wallet. So we're going to jump around. So it's a lot of topics we'll talk about here. You probably won't hear in a lot of other places. But, here we are having a great time. What Skullman said his birthday is the 29th. So, so he's got, you got a bunch of days to wait. Skulls, we got a whole bunch of people's birthday before yours. We got Auburn's next week, and then we got the Beaches the week after that. Yeah, we got a bunch of birthdays coming up. So
mine's the day after Skulls. Mine's the 30th. So.
Oh man, see, look at a bunch of birthdays coming up. So hey, it's awesome to have everybody. How is everybody on the panel today? You guys have a good week? You had Halloween yesterday?
Yeah, good week so far.
Halloween, nobody
candy
came.
corn. Best thing Halloween was I got candy. No one came, so I'm working on my winter wear fat.
Yeah, it's I had 5 trick-or-treaters. 5. And I live in town on a pretty busy street. I thought for sure, but we had some rain yesterday, and it was like no trick-or-treaters. So yes, I'm the same way, Beach. I've got we got 2 big bowls, and I made sure to get the candy I liked.
But somebody put like a sign that says a pedophile lives here.
I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what it was, but the kids avoided this house, and it was like, okay.
We turned the lights out and avoided them.
Yeah, me too.
Some guy in our neighborhood said he had 1,129 kids.
No.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
That's a lot of candy you got.
That's a lot of candy.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
And that's, I mean, you're standing there, you don't leave the door. I mean, you're.
No.
This guy does a huge display every year. And
they search it
full. One of those.
It's his own damn fault. That's his fault. Okay.
Yeah.
What he should have done was put all the candy on a conveyor belt and just let it roll.
Yeah, I guess you got 1,100 trick-or-treaters. You can do that.
Yeah,
that's a lot of money, man.
No.
Candy
You
ain't
know,
cheap.
No,
we're old, and I'm holding on to my money a little tighter than that. So
same here.
No.
It's not cheap. It's insane what candy.
I would love to see, like when we were young, since we're all fairly close in age, except for Eddie, he's older than a lot of us. But how we used to get like candy cigarettes. Let's start passing them out to trick-or-treaters today. They'd probably have a seizure. The parents would probably call the police on you.
Yeah,
you'd have some people coming back to your door. What did you give my kid?
They don't fucking
candy
have
cigarettes.
Yeah,
candy cigarettes. I forgot that. And remember the gum that was a cigar.
Oh yeah,
it looked like a cigar, but it was gum. So
do they even still have the big league chew anymore? Oh, they do.
Yep.
But they made it smaller then, right?
Oh, definitely, it's a smaller package. Yeah. Oh, that reminds. So before we get to tech, one last thing about candy. So we bought the thing that had the Snickers and
the mix?
Mars bars here. It's a Milky Way, M&Ms and stuff. So come into a box, with like 50 in a box. So we had those. The size of those, I mean, they're like this big now. I mean, I was like,
they call it the mini.
This is it? It's not a mini. I mean, remember, it used to be a couple bites.
It's fucking micro mini now.
Yeah.
It's a weird. It's a whole weird thing.
We need to do something because we sound like
we need to do something.
Our grandparents did. Oh, look at this bread. The bread is cut so thin. Because they're used to like having bread that is really cut really thin. It's great.
That's what you call Texas toast.
Yeah.
They got their own thing. That's Texas toast right there.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and kick off some of our topics here, guys. Let me go ahead and get my browser open up here. See if I see it this time. Fingers crossed.
Oh, Todd, did you get to make yourself a drink?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, good. No, because we started talking before, and he didn't.
Rum and Coke.
Yeah,
it was one can. It was one can of Coke, and the rest was rum.
Well, let's just say I hope the voting is. I haven't looked to see what the votes are. I hope it's a little swayed one way or the other, so we don't have some of the rigging that went on last week after he had 2 drinks after his second Coke boy. Jesus.
Well, I'm sorry, you guys. Voting is voting. Everyone gets to vote. You guys, hold on. I gotta get a piece of paper ready for them damn votes when it comes
Boy.
time.
Oh God.
All right.
No boy.
All right, let's talk about some Kodi stuff because that is a love and passion of mine. I know quite a few of the people on the panel. It is a passion of theirs. So yesterday, my mother-in-law hit me up about looking for some soaps, the UK soaps. Now, normally she would use Asgard that's linked to Daily Motion and never had a problem. And this has been for a long time that's been working. Well, there is a problem now with Daily Motions having some issues, and I want to feel like I read something a while back ago about Daily Motion and some possible things that they had to take down or something. Did you remember something about that,
I
C-Man?
think so.
Yeah, I remember something about it. I can't remember exactly what it is, but
It was a blurb. I just, for some reason, I remember something about Daily Motion was there was some issues that some of the content that was on there, they were asking. So it was an issue. So I asked in Asgard group as well as in Streaming Matters and said, hey, mother-in-law's looking for the soaps. Can anybody help me? And got a bunch of responses, quite a few. But there's a new add-on that I had never heard of. And I don't know, C-Man, if you'd check this one out, but it's new in the in Asgard's Lost Souls repository.
I'm the one
called
that told
UK
you
Soap
about
Box.
it.
Oh, maybe it was you. There were so many
was.
people. Maybe it was you that said that. So this is a pretty cool add-on, and Debrid linked. Now I can't load the links because I don't have my Debrid on this particular set on my computer here. But it offers content for the main soaps that people are looking for. And it has all of the newest episodes. So it had up to yesterday's episode when I loaded it on my Shield in the living room. And so again, you have to have Debrid if I'm not mistaken. Is that right, C-Man? That was it's a Debrid only.
Honestly, I haven't checked it out. I saw it in their content group and I sent it over to you once I saw you ask.
Yeah, I'm almost positive that it said Debrid only. So you got to have a Debrid account. But when I pulled it up on my Shield, it gave all the episodes. I'll see if it pops. I don't know if it will with me. Okay, well, it does load the. Yeah. I just can't get the episode to load. But you can see it's got already yesterday's episode on there. So if you're looking for some of those UK soaps, this may be an add-on that you're going to want to check out or add to your list. I know that they mentioned Me TV. I think some people mentioned that and a couple other add-ons. But this is a brand new add-on. I don't think it's. I mean, it's only been around a few weeks. C-Man. I mean, because I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's been around a couple of weeks, I think.
So yeah, so again, you would click it and it's going to take you right into whichever episode. So if you're looking for some of those UK soaps, this may be one that you're going to want to get to. And this repository, I put the repositories down in the links down below. I think it's Lost Souls repository, this is where Asgard gets updated, Shazam and Patriot and a number of other add-ons that I've seen that get updated from that repository. If you don't have that repository, if you're not sure about that repository, just look down below. The URL is there. You can add it into your file manager and be ready to go. Another one that I hear.
There's only one thing. Okay, I watch a lot of British soap operas. Well, the only one I watch is Coronation Street. But these ones gives you the latest episode in the UK. Okay. But here in Canada, we're about 5 to 6 weeks behind the UK. Okay. So you can't jump ahead without seeing what's already been in the past.
Well, you can if you're watching, if you've been watching through the UK feeds. Daily Motion's linked to the UK feed. So if you've been watching through Daily Motion or through other things, and so you are at October 31st. So you are ready for. So yes, if you've been watching the feeds from Canada, like you said,
Yes.
through, and you're probably talking about some legit services that you're
Right.
watching it through in
Like-
Canada.
Yeah, CBC Gem.
Right. So those are official services. So yes, they are on a
Delay.
set time, a delay
Right.
of so many weeks.
Okay.
So yeah, you would not, if you've been watching it through the CBC, you wouldn't want to jump over there. You're like, oh, what the
No.
hell's going on? But if you've been keeping up with it, or
okay.
you want to keep up, this is an add-on you're going to want to check out. And again, I'd never heard of it, and I was glad. Yes, C-Man sent that or posted it that this was available and to check it out. And works brilliant. Debrid is needed. I'm almost positive I remember seeing it on my TV in there.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah. Another one, and this is not an unknown thing, but I thought I'd post it because I see a lot of people looking for free live TV. Every day on some social media, people, I want free live TV. This is probably one of the better, more known add-ons that's going to have live TV. Now, is it without any buffering? No, I'm not going to say that. Does it have issues at times? Sure it does. There's been times where it's been down and people are like, oh, it's not working, and it's down for a few days and things get fixed and it's back up. But if you're looking for a live TV alternative, I would check out this. And you got live sports, so it's got sports sections. So you got all those different sports sections in there. And you also have the live TV. Now, this is worldwide channels. So this isn't going to just be the UK or just North American channels. It's going to be, all kinds of stuff. And they're in alphabetical order. It's not hard to figure out. It does not have every channel. Sometimes people are like, well, it doesn't have my local. Well, no, it does not have your local. It may, let me see on Discovery. Let me see what Discovery it has on here. Because, it doesn't even have Discovery. Doesn't have Discovery. So there's going to be things that, it does. Take that back. I don't know why. It had DS and then DI. So it will have a lot of channels. Will it have every? No. But again, for a free alternative, it doesn't hurt to load this on your Kodi. And if you're looking for it, I don't think you can load this into your PVR. I don't think you can load this in your PVR client. So, but
when you go into this, does it give you a guide also?
No.
Once you go into that channel?
No.
Okay.
It just plays.
I've not looked for a live TV add-on in Kodi for years. And when you mentioned it,
why is that?
When you mentioned stuff,
Why is that,
about, I like to play around with it. So I went on this today, installed it, and every link I clicked on worked. There was not one channel that I clicked on that did not work. I was impressed because my first thought was like, boy, I would have loved to have this back in the old iView guide days, to see if I could tie those two together. That would have worked out great. I've moved on to different things now, but somebody's looking for it's
pretty solid.
Option.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
I was really surprised how well it works now.
And it's been around a while. And this is in the crew repository. And I got the crew repository URL, which most people will know what that is or easily to find. So it's in their crew's repository. And there has been, especially since I'm on a lot of social rooms and social pages, there will be an issue that there will go down at times and it will be broken for a number of days. But then it usually seems to get fixed, and then you're back to it. So I would say you're probably, when we're talking during a big event or a big sports thing, can you count on this thing to be golden on a big event? You're probably going to run into some issues when servers get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So, because everybody has access to it, it's free. So when there's a big event, yeah, everybody's going to be on it.
Yeah.
So,
But,
but
I mean,
definitely
even-
a keeper.
Put it this way, anything that we do, there's going to be issues with it. Okay. The thing is to always have a backup, you know, so,
Yep.
you know, if that's what you want live TV, that's why I have several different things that I rely on. And I mean, my fail safe is I have a over the air antenna hooked up.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look at the MMA; they've already got the one, which have been this morning. So, yeah, again, this doesn't have a guide, but it will tell you, you know, what
What it
event,
is.
what the sporting, what the sport is. So you see, look, you got the Canadian League as well as the NBA down at the bottom. So definitely one to check out. I don't know if people over in the side chat, if they've posted any of their other suggestions for some
But
live.
that's
I know
Daddy
that.
Li- That's Daddy Live, not Diddy Live, right?
No.
Yeah, don't be diddling Diddy me. So yeah, definitely one to add to your list if you're looking for some live content. And there's some other ones. I know Asgard has a live section. Now doesn't Black Lightning has a live section, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't it?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, so it has its whole little sports section in there. So again, it's got its own. Wasn't that in the? Was it on the T? What was it under One Clicks? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Free sports, and then the Fork Q TV.
Right.
So again, another option if you're looking for that free live TV. Those are some definite options for folks to check out. And I know I see Donald over there. So I know Donald. He's got how many URLs that the mug be finding, because he is a guy that researches, looks, and finds all kinds of free links. So it's always good to have options. And let's see here. What was our? I'll throw us over to the next topic there, and then go over, which was about the Onn Box. And this is going to be a lot of chatter that about the Onn Box, the Onn Box Pro, and their new update. Now, the biggest issue that I'm reading on this is it can do some region locking.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, this is available in America, Puerto Rico, and that's it. That's the only place they're allowed, that they're sold. I think the Thompson box is sold in the UK now.
Right.
That looks very similar. I think I've seen pictures of that. That it looks basically like the European version of the Onn Box. It's not Onn. It says Thompson, if I'm not mistaken. So there's lots of talk about if you have this box and you're outside of the US, maybe you're in the UK or maybe you're in Asia, different places like that, and people having the boxes say, hey, you're outside of the region. I have some of these Onn Box Pro. I had one that was already set up. I installed the update yesterday. No problem. Everything went fine. Then I went and I saw that it said if you do a factory reset, or if you are doing a brand new box, that's when that region check, whatever you want to call it, kicks in. So I took a brand new Onn Box Pro, set it up today, all the updates, everything works, and I'm still fine. Now, it could be because I'm in North America still. I'm in North America, so it's fine. So, I don't know if that's the issue, that maybe it blocks Asia or the UK or Europe. But the other thing I saw, it said there was some issues with the Ethernet adapters. And what that is some people have bought a USB adapter that you can you plug into the USB, and it gives you the option of plugging an Ethernet plug into it. And the reason why people did that was that you got faster downloads, because the built-in Ethernet port is, I think, 100 meg. If I'm not mistaken, it was like a limited 100 meg. So it's like not even the 1,000 meg that we're all used to for Ethernet. It's 100. So if you used the USB, you could increase the Ethernet port to a higher speed. Now, again, I never got one of those things because I didn't really need it. But supposedly, this update has broke the ability to run Ethernet via a USB port. But again, I don't know how many people do that. But for people that do it, it's probably pretty important to them. But I don't know, 100 meg for an Ethernet port.
Why do you need more than 100 meg on a streaming device?
Yeah. I mean, even with 4K, you're
4K.
Even 4K, 100
still
is
not even
going to
use that.
Yeah. True.
That's the thing. I mean, yeah. So you want all your bandwidth going to an Onn box while your computers and everybody else suffered. Screw you. I'm watching.
Nobody else in the house.
Nobody else can.
No internet for you. No internet for
you. So.
Well, I think the other complaint that I saw was people that are using launchers, and a launcher is basically you're changing the UI, the interface, to a customized interface on launch. You don't see the normal Google TV interface. You would see whatever you set up. So I have seen where people said that it broke their custom UI, their launcher, but if they went back and reinstalled their, it would work. So those were the two big issues that I saw. So for you people outside of the US that have these, you're probably gonna be okay. And if you're looking for one of these things, you may want to contact me for an import fee in Canada. I have a few. That try to get my side hustle going. So that was a big thing, and so we'll be seeing there'll be a few videos popping out about the Onn boxes. Don't update because you're going to break it. And the other thing I did read is that a VPN does not fix your issue. If you tried to run a VPN as a alternative to trying to hide what region you're in, I heard that did not work. Again, that's just something I read on some threads. I can't verify it because I don't have the issue, so I can't really comment on that. Another thing that came up this week, and more and more people are using VPNs. SurfShark seemed to be having an issue this week, and RD reported about it creating all kinds of problems and people, hundreds of sharing warnings, because normally people say, well, I can share, I can download whatever I want if I'm using a VPN, but it seems that SurfShark has some issues going on, because RD was reporting hundreds of sharing warnings that were sent out in the last few hours, and the same culprit there in the UK was Surfshark. So they posted a thing on Twitter about they needed to fix their shit.
I saw posts all over Reddit about people getting warnings.
Yeah. And again, so it had to be a mistake that Surfshark's having in their infrastructure of how their VPNs works, because basically it wasn't working.
Yeah.
Because people shouldn't be getting a letter. If you're using a VPN, there's no reason for anyone to even know what websites you're on or what you're doing.
Yeah.
So just
when I saw that, I figured I'd put in a room to talk about, since we know how hard the UK is on filters and blocking stuff. So I mean, almost to do any of the things that we do here in the UK, it seems like you're required to have a VPN to get around all that stuff.
Yeah, the UK people have been dealing or have embraced VPNs years ago. Now, North America, we're catching up to that. But a lot of our UK friends have been dealing with having to rely on a VPN for years. So,
Yeah.
if you're using Surfshark, you may want to just check into it, do some research, be careful of what you're doing while you're using that VPN, because I don't know what the issues are. They also were talking about, you can see in here, talks about the speed, using really reducing the speed. So some kind of issue that they're having at their server farm there.
How's RD dealing with it?
Yeah.
I didn't read that part. Are they just holding their warnings up? I mean,
I guess this was the other day. This was on the 28th. So this was 3
Yeah,
days
I
ago.
saw
I haven't
that.
seen any posts since then. This was on the 28th. I haven't seen RD post anything else. So hopefully they fixed it. I'm assuming they fixed it since RD has posted nothing else about it. I just joined RD's Reddit thread. So I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I just noticed that they had a Reddit thread, and I'm gonna start following it just to kind of keep up with what's going on, because there's always issues, and it's always good to just be in the know.
Yeah.
This was something that I was reading about that was talking about rebooting your device. That there is some malware that is out on iPhones as well as Android users. And a simple reboot can fix your problems. So, question to the panel and people over there in the side chat: how often do you reboot your phone?
At least once every 2 weeks. I tried it.
Once a week.
I do mine once a week.
All right. Yeah. In this report, what it was saying is a lot of them, or several popular malware that's out there, resides only in the RAM. It doesn't actually install. It doesn't get into the root files or stuff like that. It kind of sits in just the RAM, and it may be because I think it said because of the safety features that Android has implemented, that one program can't write to another program inside Android. Some of the later versions of Android, but nevertheless, there's several malwares. The popular ones only sit in the RAM, and they can only work while it's in the RAM.
Yeah.
And when we reboot, that clears out your RAM. You're nothing else is sitting in your RAM. It's basically you're shutting down and open it back up. So what the NSA has said is, this is not a fix everything, but it can be a preventative if you should get some malware on your phone, that it could clear it out. And as we all know, all of us are tech users, rebooting usually fixes and your shit runs a little bit better.
Yeah.
And you reboot. So, I mean, it only makes sense. It's not going to hurt to reboot your phone, but you may find your phone charges better, the battery doesn't die as fast, that things run a little bit better because you're rebooted. And again, I mean, how many of us reboot our modem, once every week or 2 weeks? I know Beach was talking about that last week.
I definitely do.
Yeah, I try to do mine every week. I think Beach says he set it. Okay, didn't you say you set an alarm to remind you?
I generally do it every Monday, but what I've started doing with football season, doing it on Fridays because I know what I'll be doing over the weekend.
Yeah.
Do you guys back up your your phone messages?
No.
Yes, and that's what I do.
I could care less my messages.
Oh. Wait a minute. Auburn's saying he backs up all his phone messages before he reboots. Is anybody surprised?
No, not before I reboot.
Mr. Back up every damn thing.
I do back up my phone. Titanium backup. Works great on a phone.
I've never even thought about backing up my phone.
Think about it when even if you have an app that's that you once you put it on, it screwed everything up and You have to like load everything back on. It's great to be able just to use, you know, the a backup and restore function, just to just straighten yourself out. You know, it don't take up much space on your computer to back it up to. You know.
Yeah, that's cool. I use an
Yeah.
iPhone, so we don't have any issues.
Oh yeah, yes you do. You have issues with just buying them.
They're flawless, like Mortal Kombat, flawless victory.
Yeah.
I have no problems because I got an iPhone. They run, they're great. So yeah, I know for me, I reboot my modem and my mesh network once every 2 weeks, probably. Reboot my computer every week. My phone, I will say that I got to where I was not doing it every couple weeks, but I found that my battery started draining quicker. So I try to do it every week, like on a Saturday morning, just reboot my phone, and it does help because sometimes it gets rid of some of that shit running in the background that you don't realize.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How about a battery calibration? Have you ever done that?
That sounds like one of those fishy apps that you install on your phone.
Yeah, no, I've been using one for some time. I haven't used it in a little bit, but it keeps the battery fresh. Because what it does is it goes in and on the battery, it like has a number of every time you reboot or I'm not sorry, not reboot, but charge it. And then this way, once this calibration goes in effect, it calibrates it, and then you're able to have that longer period, like when you first, have your phone. So you have a longer.
So is this something you got from the Google Play Store when it was back? Because, like I said, I know there was a lot of those apps
where did I get it from?
yeah,
it was on the Google Play Store.
Maximizer or Ultimizer.
Yeah, but
I never trusted those.
No, I
always felt like.
No,
I always felt like fish.
It worked for me.
All right.
I think the name of it.
Obbin's the maximizer. He gets all his shit backed up.
Yeah, he got all of his messages backed up from 25 years ago. If you messaged 25 years ago, he has that message.
I have that message. Is right.
He's got receipts for everything. So don't be trying to turn some shit around on him. He got
but that's the thing. You do have receipts on your phone. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you need them, right?
Yeah.
You have a text
fucking
from
data hoarder.
Yeah,
you are the old.
You can't beat it.
There is no data that this man don't get rid of. Your data, man, hold it. You can walk in his house. There's stacks of hard drives. Stacks. When you go to the hoarders, it's always like trash and this and that. No, Auburn's got like stacks of hard drives. It's like, this is from 1986, right over here.
Yeah.
There's got all my pictures. This one over here is all my messages from 1993, right there. Yeah, and my man got it all backed up. Seagate loves him. Seagate loves him. Western Digital, they're like, yeah, back that shit up. Yeah. All right. VisionFlix had an update, and I don't know. I use this on a rare basis. I do use it for people, my friends and family that struggle to figure out Kodi. They're like, it's too hard, too much going on. So I seen that they updated to version 3, and I haven't installed this. Looks like they got several things that they updated in this new version. And hey, do any of you guys ever mess around with this APK?
No. I used to.
FlixVision?
When it first came out, I played around with it. Not since.
I put it on when I found out about it through you guys, and I haven't had a problem when I used it. I only use it on times of, let me see if this file is there that I don't have, and see if they have it, and they do. It works for me to give to somebody who just can't figure out Kodi or Flex.
Yeah, and it's not a bad app. Other than I still say it floods RD. I haven't double checked that in a while. I know when I looked at it 3 months ago, or about 3 or 4 weeks ago, it still sent like 5 or 6. No, the last time I checked this one, it still gave like 5 results whenever I searched, searched for a release. In my RD torrent folder, it would be like 5 things that it's stuck in there, which that's not necessary. That's no.
So is it like, is
it
it triple scraping or what's it doing?
I think it's just queuing. So instead of just scraping and like saying these are the links, and then normally what you would do is like you say, I want to watch link A with the file name. You click it, it would go to the RD cloud, your RD torrent cloud, and then it would play, right? But what I think it does is like for the first 5 results, it loads each of those to your cloud, to your torrent cloud.
Okay.
You know how your RD, you have a cloud, so it like it loads them in there. Now before RD jumped on them, it had like 15 every time you did a search for anything. I mean a search, not I'm searching for this film, and you know how it pulls the scrapes, and then it would be like 15 of the same movies. I'll go right on down on my torrent cloud. Then RD limited them to like 5. So it hopefully I really would like them to fix that, because I don't think it's fair to RD. To me, you're hammering the servers.
Yeah.
You're queuing all that stuff. What about the things? What if you're queuing things that are not, that RD doesn't have in the cloud? So then RD is going to go and try to download every one of those things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even if you're not even going to watch it, you're watching link number 1, but it's given, here's 12. Well, I don't need those bottom. I'm only watching the 1, but it's, RD. So, but again, I think that it's the layout of this APK, very nice. I think it's easy for people to figure out. I think that I like the little networks that it has across there, even though people, when I show it to them, like, ooh, I got Disney. Oh, I got Netflix too. No. No, click that. It's going to show you the content that Disney, the shows that Disney has. Not that you have a Disney account. Oh, I click on that. No, that's just so. And it works. It does work with no Debrid account, to a certain extent, just like most scraper add-ons would, or APKs. But you're going to find, if you add your RD creds to this, you link it to RD, you get a lot. And even for hard to find stuff, you're probably gonna find it. Some of the real crazy stuff that's hard to find, I know some of the BET plus items are hard to find. You will find a few links in there, but Kodi's going to give you more on that stuff. But if you're watching Deadpool, Wolverine, you're watching Wild Things, you're going to have 100+ links to figure out which quality you want to watch. So I just again, it's good to see that they're updating, and I haven't used the 3.0 just to look at it. I use it just more as a when I play it on my TV, I'm kind of just looking to see how it's working. But I do have several friends that this is what they use day in, day out, because they're like, oh, it's easy for me to figure out. Okay, good.
I used to give that like that to friends when I was doing stuff before I started a Plex, So, I mean, with the Plex libraries I can access and an MB, there's really nothing. But this way, if I can't find it on Plex or MB, then I'll go to Kodi.
Mm-hmm. True. Yeah. And one thing I want to say, that it does have it says a downloader code. This should update. If you have it installed, you should get an alert when you open it up. It should say, hey, there's a download available. Download it now or later. And you say now, then it's going to say, I'm going by previous updates, when it would say, oh, if you have a modded version, well, I don't know why people would have a modded version of this. It doesn't have ads. I know that there is some modded versions of this, but I'm like, what's the point? I mean, if you're trying to avoid ads, sure, I can see mods for ads, but this doesn't have ads, so I'm not really sure what the modded versions are protecting you or optimizing for you. So it's like, why am I going to risk a mod I don't know for something that's not really bothering me already? So, word to the wise on sometimes with people with mods. You don't always know what they stick in it or what they're doing with it. And what they're doing with it. I put this in the discussion because I am seeing an issue with NHL if you have a paid subscription for live TV. Have any of you guys been noticing any issues with some of your live TV subscriptions in NHL? Like the NHL folders, I should say.
We didn't sell out and move to Canada.
Sell out.
No, boy.
Well, I put this in here because this was an article written months ago, like July 15th. And basically, it's just a rehashing or a re-agreement, because this article or this agreement with the NHL, NBA, MLB, and Premier League was actually 2023 is the first time I remember seeing it. The new agreement in 2024 basically is saying what we agreed to last year, we're going to continue to allow you, which is when certain content is on air at certain times, ISPs are legally supposed to comply with blocks, meaning you're unable to see certain content from your country. And so I think we're going to see this more and more. We've talked about this a lot. And I'm seeing it a lot, especially since the NHL season has now kicked off in Canada. Surprise, surprise, people love their NHL up here. And a number of nights that the NHL folders, nothing will play. It just gives you the spinning. And if you run a VPN, lo and behold, it's there. It works. The exact same link plays. So I think I'm putting it out there that if you're a person that's in Canada and you watch NHL, and I think this is going to fall into the NBA, NBA had the same agreement. We're going to see more and more blocks of league content. And what's so weird is NHL blocks, I'll say Monday, Thursday for 2 examples. NHL folders all blocked. Nothing loads. But I could go to the NFL game, the Monday night football or the Thursday night football, and boom, there it is. It's playing just fine. So I could also, one of the other things I noticed is that if the NHL folders were blocked, but if I went to TSN or Sportsnet?
Sports One.
Yeah, Sports One. I could Sportsnet One or something like that. Sports1.net. I could go to that if it was showing the certain game and it would play. ESPN Plus would not play. But like I said, I could go to another network and it would play. So this is just food for thought for people that are looking to watch different sporting events. And if you go to a paid subscription and you're like, hey, these links aren't working, it's broken, this service sucks, you're probably being blocked from where you're at. And you may need to, number one, look in another location. Is it under TSN? Is it under Sportsnet or Sports One? Is it on a UK station, which most hockey is not? So you may be able to find it that way, or you'll need to invest in a VPN because as soon as you enable the VPN, it's working. So I just thought I'd toss that out because I know that I've been seeing it here, and I know Eddie doesn't watch a lot of sports, but you guys are all down in the States. But I think money on it. Within 12 to 18 months, you're going to see this in the States too. This is it because these are laws and these are cases that are being heard, and the American government's going to go right along with these blocks. And I know that we've seen those blocks with AT&T Fiber. We've seen those blocks, and some other Xfinity. We've seen people when they're like, "Oh, this doesn't work because I'm on Xfinity," or Cox. We're seeing that. So,
Yeah. Speaking on that note,
yeah,
I just had all kinds of problems with AT&T. They throw on that active armor shit.
Oh yeah, you don't want
They
that.
turned it on automatically.
yes,
And
yes.
it gets in your devices, and I had to call them and argue with them, and that I had to log out, change my password to my Wi-Fi, and it took about 5 days of getting it fixed.
Oh man.
Yeah. And you're a pretty techie guy.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? So think about the average user, that's not techie.
It has no clue on what it is.
Yeah, I mean, add-ons were throwing errors, and I'm like, what in the hell is going on? And I finally figured it out. And yeah, they just automatically turned it on.
Yeah, it's on by default in a lot of they'll call it safe browsing or safe web, safe security, like armor protection. And a lot of times on some apps, I know even Coach, like some of these Canadian companies, you had to go on your phone to the app because you couldn't do it just on here. You'd have to go to the app and actually go in and turn some of that stuff off. And it's on, like, as you said, Seaman, it's on by default. So, if you say, well, I've never turned it off, well, then it's on.
Right, but they just activated it on mine. I had it turned off.
Right, and they'll activate it. The router will reboot for some reason.
Yes.
And then boom, you're screwed. Not thinking that your router even reset itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be in the middle of the damn night. Like you said,
it could be.
Don't even know
when
it
you have
reset.
that tone sound there when they set those. Once those goes, everything resets. It'll reset that. It'll reset any modems, routers, and cable boxes. Even get reset by that.
Yeah, but I kept going to the app and turning it off, and I kept telling them it's off, and they're like, "Well, it's in your devices now, so you're gonna have to reset your password, log out, do all this shit, and jump through hoops."
Again, all right. So now they have it where it's doing it on your devices. It's like, okay, I get it. It's your equipment. The modem is normally their modem. Maybe you're using their router, so. Right. That's their equipment. You usually rent it or they give it to you. They let you borrow it for free. But then to say, oh, now it's into your devices because the devices are basically ignored because it's part of that blacklist. Because that's what it is. It's a blacklist that goes around to the ISPs that they technically have to obligate to agree to it. They have to do it. There's been plenty of court cases, so they do it in staying in compliance. So again, if you're using a lot of the Xfinity, I know that's a big AT&T, as you said. I know that's always a big problem. So I think this is going to continue to become a more and more of a problem.
Yeah.
So then what's your options going to be? A VPN to do it. And VPNs, don't get the free VPNs. Stay away from the free VPNs, and I'm not a fan of PIA because we talked about PIA a couple years ago. Remember, we talked about who owns PIA, and PIA. What was it? PIA SurfShark, I think, was one of them, and there was another big one that was owned all by the same company
the one
that used to be involved in malware.
Yeah, but it's the one
like
everyone talks about.
Yeah.
I've got Proton, the paid
Ghost.
version.
Oh, yeah. Proton's good. I mean,
It is
Proton,
very good.
that's the top of the line. That is the Cadillac of VPNs, and you don't only get the VPN; they got a lot of services.
$11 a month or something.
Yeah. So yeah, you're talking. So that's 200. That'd be $130 a year.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's on the high end of what VPNs. I know that I paid. For me, I did Nord, which does what I needed to do because I don't need to use it all the time. I think I'm paying $95 for 24 months Canadian. So what would that be? 70 some for 2 years. American, $75 American. So, and it doesn't hurt to have. I mean, I don't run my VPN constantly. And maybe that's a topic. What do you guys think? Like, how much should we be running our VPNs?
I hardly ever use it.
Believe it or not, I don't know. That's the first thing I turn on. See, I turn on once my computer's fired up, I just run it.
And so, do you have any degradation of your internet speed, or do you have any?
Nope.
Because that can be a problem depending on which service you're using and what server you're logged into.
Nope. What I do is I have Nord, and since I'm in Virginia, I usually log into a Virginia one, or I log into Charlotte, which those are two close servers. So I pay for a gig. So I generally cooked up my VPN. I get anywhere from 800 to 900 up and down connected.
That's solid with a VPN.
You're not losing nothing.
No.
I mean, there's some people lose, 70, 80% of their speed on certain people.
Verizon.
So yeah, you gotta. That's interesting. I know I use mine at. I some downloading. I'll turn it on if I'm doing some downloading, and I'll do it when I feel like there's blocks being enabled. I'll turn it on then. I know that some paid live TV subscriptions say that you should be running it all the time whenever you're running the service. Yeah, there is that legitimate thing because they're like, well, you don't want your ISP knowing what you're connecting to, so you should be running it all the time when you're running the live TV app or that paid service. So, yeah, it's something to think about. I'm just curious. I mean, I know that, like I said, I know that with Nord, you can add 10 simultaneous devices can be running. So you could actually add some of your family members to your Nord account. The only downside is that they got to go through the manual way, got to give you the code. You got to type it in via a browser, but you can do that. And,
you can do that with Proton also.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Proton does have a free version.
That's probably the best free version out there.
Yes. 100%. Yeah. They have limits to what servers you can connect to.
I think there's only three servers, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and they so it's limited. But if you're a person that's like, I just want to check it out, I want to see how it works. That's that. Again, that is the Cadillac of VPNs. To be honest, for protection and trying to keep you right, that is the one that you'd want to go with. So, but just want to toss that out. This thing about the some of these sporting leagues, and if you're finding it harder to find some of your games, just thought I'd toss it out. One last topic that we had for before we go into play our pass. NVIDIA CEO says AI will replace humans in certain jobs, because I can't say that word, with 1,000 times higher productivity. I mean, you know what they should have had after this title? Duh.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're going to do it with 1,000 times higher productivity, certain jobs. Sure. If this is simple data entry, or even more stuff, could AI do it better? Sure, it can. And will it? Sure it will. And is that coming down the road? Yes, it is coming. So, in some aspects, when we're talking about jobs, you don't want to have a job that could be replaced with a script. running your job because it's more cost effective for a company.
Yeah.
But I'll give you an example on this. You can have, okay, I'll give you an example because I work in it with aircraft engines. You can have machines that can program to machine a part. Okay, that I can understand. But to inspect it, you can't have a machine or some other program that will inspect a part to certain criteria. It's impossible because the machine can't evaluate either a go or a pass. It's
Well, if it's going to take the final device and put it in something for it to check it, well, why need someone?
I remember when I was working with Pratt and Whitney, they installed a machine that did the process of doing to where so that you can find defects.
Right.
But after a while, there were so many defects that weren't being picked up because the machine wasn't cleaning the parts right. So they took the machine out, and everything had to be redone by manual. So I'm wondering, if you try to do the same thing with AI could be facing the same problem.
There's definitely going to be hurdles.
Oh yeah.
But we're also talking how many more years from when you were working for the these aircraft companies, and how long ago is that, and where has technology taken it?
That I understand.
As well as we still going forward with that technology. So I'm thinking with AI, with especially data entry, data programming, calculating, it could do that and do it way faster. And when we're talking about those new chips, the new chips and the video cards and all that NVIDIA is pushing, these things are going to be game changers in a lot of aspects. So, people just need to know that's on the horizon.
Yeah.
To be prepared for it, and don't put yourself in a position of having a job that could be replaced with some of these. Are humans just going to be grunts? Doing all physical labor and manual stuff because anything technical will be done through an AI program. So definitely it's possible, and probably more probable.
And I would love for AI to take over.
I don't have a budget for AI.
I don't care.
I ain't got no budget for AI on there, boys. You guys stayed working.
Oh man! All right, so before we before we jump into the thing, let's hold on a second here.
Yeah.
Hey Todd, it's your big day. YouTube's host with a lot to say. Always late, but that's okay. Your kindness shows in every way. Helping folks cut the cord with pride. Retro gaming's your true guide. A diehard Kodi fan, you'll confide in endless streams. You reside, though you crack the whip so tight. On your show, organizers day and night. They know your heart's in the right. Todd, you make the world so bright.
Oh, I like it. I like it. Holy moly. Got my own song now. Good grief. Oh, I love it. Yeah. So yeah, I appreciate all you guys do. And it's even though get back to work. No. So hey, it's great to have it to have you guys on the show, and you guys are always fun. But it is a great day. And I love the show. It's fun times.
I must have taken my nice tablets when I made it.
You must have.
I mean, not one smart ass line.
No
freaking thing.
You cracked the
that
whip.
Was AI. That was AI. That's how you know AI wrote it because it was nice. Me, no, it wasn't mean at all.
Oh Jesus! All right.
I hit spinning the wheel.
Hold on. All right, man. I turned it off.
That's not
okay. So you go ahead. Tell us what. Tell us what it is, and then.
Okay. We have
who's picking
on the wheel. Andrew, he's in green with the movie Lee. I'm on there in purple with Breaking. Seaman in yellow has Strange Darling, Dabs is in red with Alien Romulus. Eddie in gray with Deadpool and Wolverine. And
Roger has the 4:30 movie,
uh-huh.
and I have Kneecap. Yeah, I didn't see those on there.
Okay, yeah, I don't see. Yeah, I see why I didn't. Okay.
All right, here we go. Let's see what we forced to watch next week, because the first time I accidentally did it at 4:30 movie. So.
Another Seaman movie.
Seaman.
What?
Yeah.
2 in a row. Come on,
No,
wait
doing green.
Whoa, wait a second.
Oh,
green, yeah, green.
Oh, good. I want to watch that.
Lee.
All right, I haven't watched this one yet.
Yeah, me neither.
So Lee. All right, so Lee. Well, let me pull that up.
That's got Kate Winslet, right?
Yeah.
No,
I think so, yeah.
Wait.
Wasn't it?
It's Nicole Kidman, isn't it?
No,
Kate.
No, it's not. No, Kate.
Oh, okay.
Kate Winslet.
Woo.
They make
Rough.
her look rough in that. I watched
Yeah.
about 10 minutes of it.
Damn, rated R. I don't know. I don't know if I'm allowed to watch this thing. Rated R.
I do know there's a shower scene with her in it.
Woo. All right. Well, now it's got my attention.
Yeah.
All right. So that's our movie for next week, folks. You need to watch that movie for next week. And this week, it's time for us to kick off to our player pass section of the show.
Yeah, I can't stay.
All right. Sorry, C-Man. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I'm
'Cause
just saying I can't stay for the whole time for this.
Okay. Well, hey, we'll let you go first. Now, this was your movie, so we'll let you be the first to discuss the movie. This is where we'll talk about this movie. So, spoiler alerts. Gonna be spoiler alerts on it, folks. We're gonna talk about this, and we're gonna end up giving it a rating of play or pass. And we're going to decide what we're going to do with this movie. And so Sound of Hope, the story of Possum Trap, baby.
Possum Trap.
Possum Trap. All right. So what do you got, Seaman? What are your thoughts?
The reasoning I even wanted to watch it was because I kind of got into Angel Studios movies because they all seem to have some sort of meaning. You know, I saw Sound of Freedom and the movie Sight. Like, that's a great movie if you haven't watched it. And, you know, I just read the synopsis and, you know, I thought it was the movie seemed to have meaning. And, you know, adopting children, I thought it was a good movie. I mean, I thought it was a great story. Most of them are true stories. That's based on a true story. I thought the acting was pretty well done for what it was. I mean, just a good story overall in my book.
Let's see. So that's all. That's what you got, bro. All right. Who wants to be next on old Sound of Freedom or Sound of Hope?
Okay, I'll go on this one. I like this movie, and I hated this movie.
Check. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
He lost his earphones died.
Yeah.
All right. Go. I hear you.
All right.
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, for me, I like this movie.
No, we're not hearing you, Todd. Did you switch off the other thing? Todd, can you say something? Hey, Todd.
Yeah, you guys go. You guys go.
Okay.
My earbuds.
Before,
my earbuds died. And I was like,
okay.
I don't hear nothing.
Okay, can I go?
Yeah, go ahead now.
Okay, I like this movie, and I hated this movie. I started it off 3 times to finish it, but because it brought too many memories back for me, because I was in a situation during my life up to about the age of 13 where I'd been booted from one family to another, and like boys' hostels and things like that, while I was in the UK and when I was in Canada. But I related to Terry because she was so frustrated.
Yeah.
And I was so frustrated because I could never finish how can I say? I could never finish a year at school. I was moving from one school to another. The religious side is when I went to live with my grandmother. My grandmother was living with my 3 aunts. We're all Pentecostal, and they started to. I don't know. They got to me. Well, I think I was maybe about 7 years old. Every day going to church and like that until once when I came to Canada, I started to settle down a little bit more because I stayed with one of my aunts that lived in Canada, and she really put me right on the right track. But I had to turn it off because when you get flashbacks of certain things are happening during your life, you say, what do I do? Do I turn it off and never look at it again? So I did it. I finished the movie, but it took me a while to do the movie.
Yeah, it is a tough watch. I mean,
it's a tough watch. Maybe not for everybody, but I'm saying personally for myself, I really found it a tough watch. But I don't regret going to the end. In other words, I put it as a task to finish it, and I finished it. But a good movie. I liked it, Seaman.
All right. Well, Auburn and I watched it in big screen last night with Leon and Kamikaze in there. I wouldn't have watched this if I wasn't forced to watch it. It's not in my wheelhouse. Now, Auburn and I had some interesting commentary, like when the girl thought I was suggesting taking her to an animal shelter when she wasn't behaving, dropping her off, or every time she acted up, using a spray bottle to sport her with. Like you do.
She thought she was a girl. She thought she was a cat. Or she acting like a cat.
I mean, I liked how the part where the minister, she says the cat gets a bowl of chicken livers and takes it outside. Mm-hmm. Here you go. This is a cat.
There you go.
Yeah, have at it. So it's not my wheelhouse. I appreciate the story of it being a true story. I mean, they're troopers. The do what they did as far as adopting all these kids and everything. The one that got me though is, and I can't remember name, was his name Princeton, their own son that had mental issues.
One that was had lack of oxygen.
It's like you saw her real kids. You saw him like the one time he's on in the bathroom having issues, and then you pretty much don't see him until the very end of the movie. They show him in real life, and I mean there's some issues, but I mean I get what they were going through. Yes, it's an inspirational story and it's based on a true story. That's all great. So yeah, I wouldn't have picked this to watch unless I was forced to.
Well, you had to watch it, so fuck you.
All right.
That's a joke.
All right. I'll jump in.
Okay.
Let me go. All right. So again, not a movie I would have watched. Probably looking at the list, I have seen some of these angel films. There was the one. It was the Sword that was just recent.
Forged.
Yeah, Forged. And that's weird because I saw that, and I actually in our religions class we actually saw that same woman. And I'm guessing it's Angel Films because that same old black woman was in one where it was based about prayer. And it was actually a good movie, and actually made me think a little bit.
That was a good movie.
So these movies do make you think. I will say a couple things that really I couldn't get past. This said it took place in 1997. Why was it every car was from the 70s? How many Woody station wagons were in 1997. If you look at, they had that, it wasn't a Dodge Dart. It was something that looked like a Dart when they were trying to fix it.
No, I was, wasn't it? I originally thought it was a Pinto. And then
no, it wasn't a Pinto.
That was a different, that was a different car. That was a Pacer.
That was a
Pacer.
Yeah. When I was looking, I mean, I kept looking, I'm like, I kept saying to Blue, I said, didn't it say 1997? And she goes, yeah. I said, okay, well, why are all these cars from like the 70s? Now, that probably represents that it was a community that didn't have a lot of money, this and that. And granted, but it was so weird how it seemed like everything took place in the 70s, the feel, the talk. And I guess East Texas, I don't know what East Texas is like. So maybe they're, really old back in the time. So that threw me off a little bit. A couple other things that I got the religious part. I understood the listening to God's spirit and listening to God's direction. I understand that and getting in touch with that. And so I respected that and I liked that aspect. But trying to remember, there was one other thing that kept throwing me off. I'll think of it in a minute. I'll talk. I did like that it was a feel-good story, and of hope and of people doing good to others, because so often we watch movies that are very depressing. We watch a lot of movies with a lot of negative storyline. This was a story of kind of positive. I did find it funny when she gets the whole town adopting kids, right? And she gets frustrated. She's like, just take them all back. I'm like, wait, you went down this road. You can't just make everyone go back. And it was like when you were talking about with the son being on the toilet, and they're like, oh, you need to wipe your son's ass too. And I'm like, I don't know. Those kind of parts, I was like, and I can understand the frustration of dealing with a child with some disabilities. When I see some of those, and I can understand it's got to be heavy on a family. So I enjoyed aspects of it. I enjoyed the uplifting. I did. They could have had a couple more songs that I would actually know. I didn't like some of the singing that they did, because I'm like, I was in a Baptist church. I've heard a lot of songs. I'm like, I ain't heard none of these songs.
I'm with you on that.
And I was like, because there's some good songs, some good hymns, but I didn't know any of these. But I did think it had a good story. I did think the acting was legit. I did like that. Oh, I remember the thing that bugged me and Blue was immediately, these kids are not babies. They're young kids.
Boys. Yeah.
And the first thing she says to him, call me mama. That don't ring true to me, because that kid knows who his mama is, or she knows who her mama is.
Yes.
So if that kid decides to call you mama, that's one thing. That kid decides that. But when they walk in the door and say, you know what, I'm your mama now. I understand what you're trying to say, but no, you're not. You're not that baby's mama.
Yeah.
So that it seemed like she did that every single time a kid came. And I understand she's trying to say, you're with me forever now, moving on. Yeah, sure. But that's that kid's choice to call you mama or call you daddy. Because he would be like, I'm your daddy now. Might know their daddy. So that was whenever she pushed that, I felt like that's a push. You shouldn't push that on a child. That's for a child to decide on their own. So those were a couple things that between the cars and then the mama that was kind of like just uncomfortable.
Yeah. And
the ending was brilliant. I loved the flashback of seeing the real people.
Me too.
Yes. At the end.
Cool.
I thought that was good.
Yeah.
Because this is a real person, because again, this is based on a real story. And 77 kids were placed.
Crazy.
77.
Yeah.
Because when we talk about a lot of stuff in the world and how many kids are needing a home and being abused and not being taken care of because their parents or whatever, it was moving to see that. So there were certain aspects that I liked about it, and then certain that just didn't set true to me. So, but definitely a feel-good movie, other than when they showed the kids being abused, or that pictures of the kids that were in the system. But that's true stories, folks. I mean, there's kids in these situations, but I thought the acting, I thought this social worker did a great job. I thought she felt genuine.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I got. That's what I got.
All right, guys, I got to run. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Later, see you, man.
All
See
right,
you,
y'all
man.
take care,
Thanks
guys.
for the
Talk
pick.
to you soon.
All right.
Have a good
All
one.
right.
You too, guys. Take care.
Right. Okay. Okay. As for me, I like the movie. I like the feel good part of it, but I felt different on some of the other parts, on how some of these other kids came in. Even the one girl who they said was the worst, one. There's no kid that's the worst. Any of these kids could have been really bad. And really bad means going in your house and then saying, "Oh well, I hate everybody," and then they burn the house down on you. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I was waiting for to happen. Not just out of that one girl, because it's got to be difficult. Being raised by someone else, and they're basically making you feel like, oh, well, your family wasn't good enough before, so we're your new family. There were a lot of things that made me feel like that, but I thought it was a great movie. I made a bunch of people watch it already, but I'm trying to think if there was anything else. There were some things that that like here it was it took 8 years to make the movie, and they spent so much time just on the research, so I guess that they were thinking of certain other things about, like how each kid, they did give the backstory, but they didn't show too much, but they did show a backstory, like with one kid who didn't want to go in the water,
And when he had those burn marks,
yeah,
looked like cigarette burns
mm-hmm.
that
Yep.
was on his stomach.
Yeah. It was it's great that there can be someone out there that would help this many kids. Not even just that, but to imagine basically hitting up the whole town and saying, "Okay, help. You got, all you guys got to do this." That's a big responsibility. You know what I mean? I know I couldn't even get 2 people to take in a cat for a night. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's I don't know. I don't know how they did it. I just don't know how. I'm trying to think of what's something else I did want to talk about, but I think it was that I think it was the director that was in the movie.
Yeah, he was the
He had
priest.
played he played the other priest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was. But when we looked at the other priest in the other church,
Mm-hmm.
again, I was part of the Baptist. I was in a Baptist church for 25 years, a small Baptist church, and we went to big Baptist churches. We went to some for whatever revivals or different stuff, and it's a different mindset when you go to some of those big churches, like those, and we call them mega churches or whatever you want to call them, those big churches. It's a different feel, and it's a different set of things that are important. And I looked at my wife, and this was a moment that I actually shared with her last night. Do you guys remember the part in the movie when some of the families were struggling? Remember, they were all struggling, and they brought everybody up front that was having some difficulties. Remember that? And I kind of kind of got a little emotional. They're talking with Blue. And I said, I remember a time like that at my church. I remember a time in my church, which we had no more than 60 to 70, and on a good Sunday there at our church, that when I was struggling and I was a deacon at the church and I, all that stuff. And I was having a hard time on a lot of things, and they knew it, and they called me up and they said, Todd's having these problems. He's one of our family. Everybody knows him. And these are the things that's going on. And we want everybody to come up here, and we want to pray for him. And I mean, you could be a person that believes in faith and not in faith, but God works in times like that. And I shared with her when I'd never shared about that with her. And I told her about the whole thing. And I said, that reminded me of a small Baptist church that cares about the people. Different from these, I'd been to mega churches that got 2,000 people in them on a Sunday and multiple services. And, you think about the money that's drawn in, but you don't know who's sitting around you. But every Sunday, I knew who was sitting beside me in the pew, because, you always sit in the same pew. You're always in the same spot. I knew who was over here, and I knew who was over there. And I knew the woman in front of me. I knew what she was going through. So that was real. And when we talk about things changing, and I said, that's real. I said, I can remember that. So that was a real moment in that movie. And again, if you're going to be in a church, I'm telling you, smaller churches are better. Because it's where God's working more, even though bigger churches or whatever. But you see things happening. So sorry.
No, I was really pretty much done. Like I said, I did like this. It took a lot for them to put this together, really, I guess, I'm done.
All right.
What I learned from this was to appreciate what I have today compared to what I had before. Every time I look at my kids and I said, if they really knew, I've never talked to my kids the way I was brought up. But I remember when I took my kids to the UK and I showed them where I lived and where I was born. And they looked at me, they said, Dad, did you really live here? And I said, yes. And I showed them parts that I said, remember, you used to go to these nice parks, to play in these nice parks and this and that. I'll show you my playground. My playground were in bombed houses. That's where my playground was. But this movie opened a lot, and maybe I should have a sit down with my kids and explain exactly what really happened.
Probably a good thing to have a conversation on those things.
Yeah.
Because
especially since you had Jesus living next door.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Hold on a second. Let me plug in my headset back in because the headphones are dead. Okay, so this is a segment of the show we're going to give play or pass. And play means that you would recommend this to people, and people that you could recommend this to. Pass means, hey, I can't recommend this to people. Don't want to put my name on that. However you want to word it. So we're going to run through here for play or pass. Beach is to my far right down there. So we'll start with Beach. People on the side chat, feel free to vote, and I will count your vote. Everybody's vote counts in this thing right here. All right.
So as we say in here, me personally, I would give it a pass. But the thing is, if somebody who would like this movie, then you have to give it a play. I have to give it a play because I have a friend's wife who works for Regent University, which is Pat Robertson's college. So she would enjoy it. So I have to reluctantly give it a play.
Okay. All right. I voted, counted, and I've done counted. Leon over there and Mike. Even Leon, you're watching us live, so you get a vote On here too. I'm counting your vote. Leon, you get a count right here.
Double numbers.
You double voting. I mean, he it's because his vote counts because he's willing to spend the time watching us live. Russell, counted your vote. Eddie, play or pass for The Sound of Hope, the story of Possum Trot.
Even though I hated what I had to go through, I'll still give it a play.
All right. Sometimes some kind of days are good for us. All right, Mr. Alvin, what do you think? And I'm going to put down a play for C-Man since he did pick the movie. I would, and he said he did like it, so I'm going to give him a play. So I hope that I wouldn't overstep right there.
Yeah, it's a play for me also.
All right. I'm gonna give it a pass. As much as there's things of this that I did like, who do I have to tell to watch this movie? I mean,
you mean to tell me you wouldn't talk to somebody back from your old church and say, you know what, you really got to watch this. Just saying.
I mean,
you know?
I guess there's probably somebody I can tell to watch it.
Right.
Well, all right. So yeah,
you got to think about movies. Listen, you got to look at movies and say, you know what, that person will like that. You know, even if it was someone that's even in Plex, and you just say, you got to check out this movie.
Well, I ain't sending that message to nobody on Plex.
No, okay.
Wait, damn it! Stop it! I'm almost at the bottom of my room. So, all right. So, I mean, it's I guess I could give it a very reluctant pass or a very reluctant play. But all right. I wrote down pass, so I'm gonna stick. I'll stick with my pass.
There you go.
I'm gonna stick with it, and there was aspects that were okay and were good on this movie. There were certain things. If they need to fix that, look at the vehicles, folks. I couldn't get past the vehicles. The vehicles were not 1997.
I can't. I remember seeing something saying 1997.
It did. I didn't. The very beginning.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't know that was the time it was.
Yes.
Because then I would have been like, this is definitely all wrong. Because even through all of that, me and Dave were talking in the movie, looking at the station wagon.
Yes.
And like, oh yeah, remembering when we were kids, getting that, being able to get the back seat all the way in the back. So I just got to go back and rewatch.
Go back. Hey, watch the first. You only got to watch 10 minutes.
First 10 seconds. Yeah, I know.
It shows you right there, 1997.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, fucking pick better vehicles. All right. So, what's our votes there?
Because even the houses, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Even the houses. When you look at that shack that was left there,
maybe that's supposed to be East Texas. I kept saying maybe that's East Texas, and then the language. Is this supposed to be? Because it was. I thought I was watching The Color Purple.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
The
language was. I lived in North Carolina, and there wasn't not a lot of people talking like that. But I guess I'm not East Texas. All right, what's our vote over there on Telegram, buddy, bro?
Telegram, I believe it was 7-5. 7 plays, 5 passes.
All right. Well, this is what you get. There you go. So Possum Sound of Hope got us a play. So folks, you might check that out. Definitely need to check be careful, check your feelings, because it's got some parts that'll grab you. So but yeah, Sound of Hope. Definitely a different movie. We've not watched a movie like this on this show. And it was neat. Look at a 7.1. Mm-hmm. So good. It was definitely a different feel and type of movie, and nothing wrong with that. And I might have to recommend this to one of my religion classes.
Yeah. I can't see you not, saying to someone, yeah, you should watch this.
Yeah. All right. Well, in this segment of the show, this is where we're going to talk about TV shows or movies that we recommend or tell us, please, Lord, stay away from that thing. We're going to talk about some of those things.
Before we do that,
yeah, but
yeah, we have fights tomorrow night.
Fights.
They're in Edmonton, by the way.
The Great White North. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's on the other side.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I
it's still the Great White North. Anything north of the border.
I listen. You ever watch the Great White North? That show?
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh, you got to watch it. Oh, it's hilarious. It's a cartoon type one.
Mm.
I think it's the Great White North or the Great North might be called. But either way, fights tomorrow. We have UFC Fight Night 246. The main card starts at 8 p.m. and the prelims start at 5 p.m.
So earlier, well, not super early, not like last week.
No,
not like last week.
Yeah, but yeah, I didn't check for any.
I didn't see no BK, no bare knuckles tonight. There was one, like the one
championship.
Yeah, that was on today or tonight. And I don't remember seeing anything else. I mean, the World Series is over.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's all done. Not that I watched it, but hey, I happened to tune in for the 5 minutes when I got to watch that guy rip the ball out of the damn outfield.
Yeah.
I happened to just turn. I was like, "Wow, I guess you're going to be leaving soon." And they said that was it $1,400 seats in a ban from the Major League Baseball moving forward.
Wow.
So, yeah, for ripping the ball out of the damn outfielder's hand after he had caught the ball.
Mm-hmm. So, didn't that happen one time before?
I think so.
You know, I really remember something like that, and they just went crazy on this kid. Oh, yeah. What do I know?
All right, so we got NFL and college basketball or football this weekend. So shows or movies that people should check out or avoid. You guys over in the side chat posting.
I've been enjoying this Disclaimer. It's an Apple TV show.
Yeah.
There's one that it's been on Netflix. I haven't watched it yet. And it's described as a cross between Yellowstone and Succession. It's a Netflix series called Territory. I haven't seen that. I've been enjoying The Franchise, which is the HBO one. Comedy, that's good.
Yeah.
And then just how I'm always looking for weird stuff. I watched a series called Nemesis that was a Dutch TV program that's dubbed in English. Basically like a financial crimes type unit.
Oh, okay.
You know.
And that's called what again?
It's called Nemesis.
Nemesis, okay.
Yeah. It's a Dutch program.
Okay.
But there's dubbed in English.
Is it ESES?
Yeah, I see.
Blue did say that it was 1997. She just looked it up.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's the one with the girl right there. Yeah.
So you're saying that was good. Okay.
Yeah, I liked it. If you like a drama type thing, it wasn't bad.
Hold on. There's one from Australia also.
Yeah, but that's a documentary about politics.
Oh, that's a documentary. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Dave done did his homework. He's like, no, that's not it.
No,
I've watched
it. And,
you know, I get in my, I'm always looking for the not run of the mill stuff that everybody picks. I like to find this stuff between. So, yeah, that's like I started a couple between movies today. Ugh.
Well, you guys want to talk about? Remember I said I have to put a movie on. Remember last week I was like, I'll have to put something that's so bad because I'm always grabbing all the other type of stuff. But this other movie I watched called Black November. I didn't think I was gonna like it, and I really did. The story just went somewhere different, but it looked like when I watched the trailer, it was like, come on, it had what's his name in it. If once you look it up, you'll see.
This one?
Yeah, I think that should be it.
2012?
Yeah, was it 2012? Yeah. Scroll down to the cast. What's his name was in it? The one who
Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke, And I was like, oh, this has got to really be bad. Listen, guys.
Kim Basinger.
Yeah, Kim Basinger. She was great in it. Listen, if you guys got nothing to do and you want to see something different, especially that that was going on in Africa with all of the oil that they took from there, that all these people never got anything for. They were promised stuff and they didn't get it. It was really good. I just say, I'm just gonna say, just watch it if you got nothing to do.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if I'm gonna watch this. No, I'm not gonna.
I might find something to watch. I might find something to do. Might play some retro games or something. Install some random add-ons. Just be poking around.
Oh my gosh.
Has anybody ventured to this? I really
Which one? I can't read it.
The
Which
Joker,
one?
the new
Joker.
one.
Oh no.
I
didn't
almost
do it yet.
want to do it just so that I can have an honest opinion of my own self on if it's good or if it's bad, which I know that it's probably bad. I hate musicals, but I'm almost going to give it a try just to say, yeah, I watched it. It sucked ass.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, any of you guys, and so none of you guys have even tried.
I want to try it, but I think if I see them both singing and dancing, I don't think I could. I don't think I could do it. But knowing me, once I saw the movie, I have to watch it to the end, and that's what's bothering me about that movie. Especially since the last, none of that Batman that we watched that was so bad. You remember
the Batman we watched?
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
With Batman and with who?
Yeah, it was a dark movie.
Yeah, it was really dark. And he had Catwoman out there on the motorcycle. Oh my gosh. We were like, we couldn't believe that we did it on the show.
Yeah, I've seen that. I remember watching that alone,
no,
outside of the show. I mean, I watched.
We watched that one for the show. It was bad.
I
don't want to get caught up into something like that.
I read something in a French paper today that they're talking, or it started in pre-production of a movie, Game of Thrones.
Oh.
I think you could start to milk this Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I mean, they're already going to have spin-offs of that.
Yeah.
So let's just stick with the spin-offs and.
Yeah, but a movie. How many seasons do we have Game of Thrones?
Right. What can you put into a movie?
Well, 5. I think 5 good ones and 6, 7, and 8. It kind of. It didn't end well.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't I talk about last week? Did I mention Wild Robots last week?
Yeah,
you did.
Okay.
You mentioned it.
Beetlejuice. I watched that this past weekend.
And,
not as bad as I expected.
Exactly.
Everybody cracked on it. It really wasn't that bad. And you do see Beetlejuice. People acted like you wouldn't even see him, and he's in it. He's in it plenty of times. Maybe not constantly, but
I enjoyed it for just the nostalgia going back to the original one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when Olivia's mother dies, now she dies. You know, I enjoyed it. I had no problem with it. I mean, it was better than I expected because, like you, I heard people trash on it, and I'm like, I just want to see, because I enjoyed the original version.
Mm-hmm.
How was this? I had no issues with it.
Yeah, it definitely was not bad. So I would definitely. I don't know why everybody cracked on it. Maybe I think too often when we have a sequel, people's expectation is way up here, and this is a movie that's made 30 years, 20 years past when Beetlejuice was first made.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be the exact same, so you gotta take that in. So you let it stand as its own movie and not tie it to Beetlejuice and say compare it. Actually, Blue and I were talking today about, when we do remakes of movies, we actually mentioned about the remake of Color Purple when, we watched the last one. And some things shouldn't be remade. I said, just like Fight Club, is there any need for us to make another Fight Club? Fight Club was brilliant in the way it was made, filmed, acted, done. Don't do it again. I think of Scarface, classic movie. It was done beautifully. You don't need a remake. You don't need to redo it.
How can you even remake it?
Huh?
How can you even remake it? You know what I mean?
But I'm saying that, too often film companies like, people will come and join just because they know that name. Yeah. This was a little bit of the, we'll have enough people will tune in, and I don't know how much money it made, but it's definitely not a horrible movie. Would I give it a 10? Oh no, I give it like a 6, 6.5. So decent to watch. Don't hold it to the exact same to Beetlejuice, even, comparing, but if you let it stand as its own movie, I think that some people would actually find it to be enjoyable. Apocalypse Z, I don't even, this is brand new to me. Have you guys, this doesn't even ring a bell.
No.
It's trendy. It looks there's 155 people are watching it right now.
When did it come out?
Yesterday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it is on my list to watch, and I wanted to see this one.
Yeah, 156 people watching it, so that's why I just was like, what? Another zombie movie. Like, we need another one.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so it is what it is. Another one.
I mean, because I see it there, I really did enjoy Deadpool Wolverine.
You did?
I really did. I did. I liked it.
Yeah.
It's fun. Again, you got to if you like the other Deadpools, there's no reason why you're not going to like this one.
Nope.
It's the same humor joke, not the same jokes, but it's that same humor. So you're either gonna, if you didn't like the other ones, well, then probably aren't going to hurt to miss it.
Yeah, there was one that came out today, and it's probably the next one I'm going to watch. Just being a fan of movies, it's a biography. It's called "The Music of John Williams."
Oh yeah,
that was just released today.
Yeah,
that came out today, so I really want to watch that. I think that'll be a real interesting, because I mean, I watch it, and if my kneecap ever gets picked, oh my god, because I'm not replacing it, because I've not seen anything better. There's crap out there right now.
Yeah, there is. That's why when you actually find something that's good, you're like, wow, that's actually good. That's like when I watched Wild Robot, and I was like, wow, this is an animated, but it's actually good. It's like, good lines, good
Well, what you
acting,
do
like
is
good drawing.
when your alien Romulus gets picked, then you can put Wild Robot on there. Make it
Well,
fun
I'm
watch.
probably going to replace next week because Alien Romulus was. I put it on there because it was a brand new movie. The week I put it on there, it had just dropped the day before.
And did you watch it by any chance?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, can we just try to grab scenes and glimpses of previous, the shot from a previous Alien movie and say, oh, we can do this again in this movie? It just in too many parts that the ending of it. I want to say the last 15 minutes, some of the stuff that's happened. I looked at Blue, I'm like, what the hell's going on? I don't understand what's happening here. And some of the scenes, yeah, well, I'll trash the shit out of this next week because I'm going to change my movie. I'm changing mine next week to Wild Robot because there's some of the aspects of the end of Romulus, and I was like, what? Yeah. Come on. It's a sci-fi movie, but no. Physics doesn't work there. But I see a substance. And this is a type we probably could have talked about. There has been some leaks, high quality theater leaks. Substance being one of them. Terrifier 3 is another one. That are movies that are at the theater that are screener quality. And so there was actually a discussion I was reading, I think in Torrent Freak, about how are these movies being released? Because we haven't seen screeners in a couple years, right, guys?
It's probably been 5 when they went all digital.
Mm-hmm. It's been a while.
Basically, that's the
Which
reason
killed me.
Digital is because all the leaks you used to get. I mean, it was like generally the end of October or November is when it was screener season, so you would see all the films are getting ready to get the Academy Awards buzz, or wanted to get the Academy Award buzz, to start getting leaked. I mean, I came across a telesync of the latest Venom, The Last Dance, and the picture was perfect. Audio, was recorded inside the theater, but it was extremely watchable. So I did. And I normally don't.
Well, the Substance and Terrifier, they say are they're digital quality, like picture and audio. Yeah. And they said they weren't sure if they were if somebody gained access to theater hard drives or theater computers that would have these digital copies on their hard drives. So there is discussion in how these
ripped it from there.
How they copied it or got access to be able to pull. But this was I want to say the group was Theater or something like that was the release group, but they're trying to figure out how these theater quality rips, digital rips, how they fell into the mainstream, kind of like Dave was saying about like the old DVDs being spread around.
After I suggested that documentary about how the music business was, put it this way, there's a will, there's a way. So probably 100%. It looks like somebody found a new way of doing it.
Yeah. So they're going to be, we're probably going to see quite a bit of this stuff.
The funny thing is, I did hear that, these guys are getting DVDs again. I'm not these guys, I mean, production guys are getting DVD releases again because they were complaining that, some of these guys are in remote areas and they don't get a chance to watch anything. So they want it back on DVD. That's what they were used to. So more power for them. That's what I love. That's because when it stopped for them, it stopped for me. I missed
Okay,
that.
think about it. Here you go. Here's a question. When's the last time you put in a physical
DVD?
movie to watch?
I haven't. I have not.
I
I
mean,
couldn't even
how
tell you.
many years?
It's got to be 7 years now, maybe. It's a
I
long
go
time.
farther back than that. I go back
Yeah.
to my kids. It'd have to be when I put a DVD in with my kids. Like when my kids were living and
No, actually, I did put one in because someone asked me for something, and I knew exactly where it was, and so I had to make make one up for them, and I did, and that's within the last year. I did use a DVD player. Well, not the player. I did on the computer.
you guys did that on the computer.
Yeah,
I didn't.
but I
didn't
mean, it's
use
just like you think
yeah, I
about
know.
it
I don't
nowadays.
use them, you know, but I'm still holding on to
Oh, we
mine
know.
because I have to. I have to because
Just in case.
there's gonna be a time. It's gonna be a time when storage is gonna be. You remember how when we thought about a 5 or 10 meg drive. You remember those days? And then look at where we're at now. We're going to be going a lot. They're going to say having an Echo Drive isn't good enough for you to have at home. Because that's what I need for everything that I have.
It's never enough
Well,
for
the
you.
thing is, you have to convert all that physical to
Yeah.
digital.
Yeah.
And that takes time.
That will take time. I know. But I know that. But I because my problem is I love extras on a movie, and we don't get that really.
No, not when you stream it. Not when you stream
Yeah,
it.
you know what I mean. And I want it
from Disney or Netflix,
right?
Unless you go down, and sometimes
you might be able to get it.
Yeah, on
but
certain,
I'm like that.
releases, you can find the extras in there. I'm not a person for the extras. Just give me the meat and potatoes.
I like seeing, because if I sit down and I watch a movie and it was a good movie, and it's just like I don't want it. I don't want to leave the movie yet. I want to know more about what went on to do this or that or the other thing.
All right. Well, we're at 7 o'clock. I don't know if there was anybody else in the side chat anything to suggest. Substance. Sorry, I see that Adam posted Substance. Great quality on that. Yep. Great quality. Yep. The Apprentice. So
Yep. Saw that.
Steve said thanks for the
hold on.
patio leg. But
Red, I do have a rotary phone still somewhere, just so you know. Okay?
Just so you know.
No, actually,
it's somewhere around here.
It is a touch tone. No, because I keep a real phone, because I have old lines that are still working, if you know what I mean.
Old lines.
And so I need them. But so if there's power out, I still have a line.
We've been trying to pull his ass into the 21st century.
I am.
We're pulling him, and he's fighting it. He's like, no, but I need my rotary phone.
I need that. I need it is a touch tone. It is but I have.
Is it on the wall with the long cord?
No. It's not. Nothing is even hooked up to it.
With that, the 30-foot cord, so you could take it to your room and talk on the phone.
Because I have my when I used to do punch downs, I have my other blue receiver. That's got a rotor on it. A little hand one that you can get up on a pole, if you know what I mean.
Get up.
Wait,
like Green Acres.
Yeah.
Now he used that time with the telephone pole to make a call.
Yep.
All right, hey, let's get. We'll go out of here. We're here. We're gonna reminisce about some old shit now.
Old shit. We're old, man. We're old.
We are old as fuck. So, so again, thanks for everyone joining us. Any of you guys got anything to say before we roll out of here?
Mm-hmm.
Good show. Good show.
See everybody next week.
Yeah.
Watch Lee.
Happy birthday, Dabs.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad.
I doubt if you're going to come into anything, are you?
Well, it depends. It depends on when all the action happens tomorrow. It may be early. It may be early in the day, and I might be able to.
Okay.
Action happens early.
Taking you anywhere or?
No, I don't want. I want to have dinner here.
You're like me, right? Yeah.
Have dinner here. I want my cake here, and told Blue walk around naked all day long. That's all I want.
Okay. Wait a minute. Can we see the video?
No. No, that's my private dancer. That's my private dancer.
Oh man.
Happy birthday, Dab.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. So hey, we're gonna roll out of here. Thanks for everyone that joined C-Man also, since he's already gone, but thanks for him joining, and watch the movie for next week. And as always, streaming matters to us because streaming matters to you. We're out.
Curtain falling on the screen. Hope you laughed and learned a bit. Had some fun and skipped routine. Time to close this crazy ship. Thanks for tuning in, my friends. But it's time to say goodbye. Through the streams and download set. But now it's time for us to fly. Information, picked up tips and tricks to enjoy. But now we leave this online station. It's time to pack up every toy. Thanks for tuning in, my friends. But it's time for us to fly. Through the streams and download set, you can kiss my ass goodbye.